A portion of today's video is brought to you by Zippix nicotine toothpicks. For more information on them, stick around until the end of this video, or if you're champing at the bit, click the link in the description below. It is very clear that Donald Trump isn't actually the president this time around. I've talked about his nursemaid that follows him around and ensures he doesn't wander off during press conferences and announcements. The guy who reads for Donald Trump and tells him in great detail what the executive orders that he's signing are. That guy. Donald Trump's just not in it. He's allowing the Project 2025 goons to just run amok and alter the functioning of our government. And it became more clear yesterday when Donald Trump announced that Casey Means, a conspiracy theorist, liar, quack, was going to be the Surgeon General of these United States. A non-doctor, a licensed medical professional, non-licensed, right? And when asked about this in the Oval Office, he said two things that really should send fear into you, trepidation through you. And it's that, why did you nominate her? Bobby told me to. And then also, I don't know her. The President of the United States of America chose a woman to be the Surgeon General because Bobby told him to, and he doesn't know her. Watch this.
You just announced a new nominee for the U.S. Surgeon General who never finished her residency and is not a practicing physician. So can you explain why you picked her to be America's top doctor?
Because Bobby thought she was fantastic. She's she's a brilliant woman who went through Stanford. And as I understand it, she basically wanted to be an academic as opposed to a surgeon. I think she graduated first in her class at Stanford. And Bobby really thought she was great. I don't know her. I listened to the recommendation of Bobby. I met her yesterday and once before. She's a very outstanding person, a great academic, actually. So I think she'll be great.
Your nominee.
That's not president. That's not the president of the United States. A man who has to have every single executive order and presidential memorandum explained to him in great detail is not the president of the United States. A guy who's falling asleep literally in press conferences in the Oval Office as he sits there, people talking around him, and he's dozing off. He's not president. We got a Woodrow Wilson situation on our hands, or at least we are staring down the barrel of a Woodrow Wilson situation. If you don't know what I'm talking about, search Woodrow Wilson coma and Woodrow Wilson wife president, and it should tell you everything you need to know. Now, I want to explain exactly who Casey Means is. I don't want to miss this opportunity to enlighten you about exactly the dangers that she poses. Chris Hayes, last night, he introed his segment. I'm going to play about 59 seconds of his intro. And then he's interviewing the actual Health and Human Services Secretary during the Obama administration, Kathleen Sibilius. Also, I believe she was the governor of Kansas, who did a good job. And she has thoughts about just how scary it is that this Casey Means is an anti-vax quack to put your children and your neighbors and you at risk if they carry out this all-on assault on vaccines. First, though, here's about a minute from Chris Hayes introing just the danger that we're in.
Feels like every single day without fail, there's some new headline about the nation's health infrastructure that feels like a dark joke. Got the largest measles outbreak since eradication, to nearly $2 billion in research grants being canceled. And the latest is this one. Donald Trump taps wellness influencer close to RFK Jr. for Surgeon General. Her name is Dr. Casey Means, though she is not a licensed medical doctor. She is an online holistic wellness influencer, which means she goes on a lot of shows touting her health advice.
This overwhelming amount of sugar we're eating is one of the factors that is leading our bodies to be underpowered on the physiologic level, meaning literally a dimming of our life force.
I bet that one vaccine probably isn't causing autism. But what about the 20 that they're getting before 18 months?
I want to be able to form a relationship with a local farmer, understand his integrity, look him in the eyes, pet his cow, and then understand if I can drink his milk.
He's not wrong. He's not exaggerating. All of that is true. This is like a scary movie. This is a bizarre situation that we're in when non-experts, quacks, skeptics of the science. Look, it's fine to be skeptical of the science, but if you provide no data to back your point and all it is just conspiracy theory, when study after study after study after study has indicated that autism is not caused by vaccines or a vaccine or vaccines, none of it. That's not how it works. And she is anti-vax. She is anti-vax. And just like Bill Maher and just like Robert Kennedy Jr., they're going to lie and say, I'm not anti-vax. I'm not anti-vax. I'm just asking questions. You're anti-vax. And that is the very serious concern that former Health and Human Services Secretary Kathleen Sibilius has about the incoming Surgeon General, Casey Means.
There's no question what I've seen this woman say is she's an anti-vaxxer. That's terrifying. That is a terrifying position for the secretary to hold. It's a terrifying position for the Surgeon General. And it will confuse and potentially kill people in this country if parents really aren't sure of the advice they're given. Go after processed foods. Go after salt and sugar in food. Talk to your colleague in the ag department to take on the food industry and to, make sure that people can have fewer antibiotics in the meat that they eat. Those are all things that could make us healthier. We had a huge prevention fund in the Affordable Care Act that the Republicans called for years a slush fund that gave cities and schools and counties. So there's a lot of common ground here. It seems like this team has just woken up to the fact that we could do something about the food we eat and the movement that our kids make and the opportunity to live healthier, to stay out of clinical medicine. But boy, you mix that with lots of false information and making up stuff and pushing supplements that have no proven value, and then you have a real mess on your hands.
Look, it's dangerous. But we shouldn't be surprised. We shouldn't be shocked by this at all. In fact, we knew this was coming. We just didn't know exactly how bad it would be. We knew it would be terrible. And here we are with Robert Kennedy Jr., non-medical expert. He's an environmental lawyer. He knows nothing about health. He knows nothing about how to keep himself healthy. How is he going to tell you how to keep your kids healthy? Anyway, what do you think? I invite you to this conversation about how we have no president at this current time. You can comment below. You can also call the voicemail line 714-576-4054. You can also email me daily@dollemore.com. Please consider supporting and helping produce this work, helping me make these videos. You can click the join button below, become a channel member for $2 a month. Go to patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. I would appreciate it very much. Follow me on social media if that is your thing. And I will see you next time. Until then, be genuine and take care of one another. Are you tired of your entree growing cold while you're stuck outside smoking near the restaurant entrance? Or perhaps you're craving a puff, but you're stuck in the airport for the next several hours. And that's if you don't get delayed. Or possibly you've just had enough of your clothes smelling like smoke. Don't get up, get your nicotine fix right there, or anywhere for that matter, with Zippix nicotine toothpicks. Socially acceptable yet discreet, Zippix toothpicks not only serve as an excellent nicotine delivery service, they also satisfy the oral fixation associated with smoking and vaping. You don't have to hit the bricks to get your fix. Instead, try Zippix. Head to zippixtoothpicks.com today and score 10% off by using code Dollemore at checkout. Available in 6 delicious flavors with 2 and 3 milligram options, Zippix are perfect for long flights, restaurants, and all those other places where you're no longer allowed to smoke or vape. Zippix are also one of the most cost-effective nicotine products on the market, and they're proudly made right here in the United States. Why not give your lungs a break? Hundreds of thousands of customers count on Zippix for their nicotine fix without needing to inhale toxic smoke or vape oils. Or maybe you're just looking for a boost. Zippix also offers caffeine and B12 infused toothpicks too. Stop interrupting your life with cigarettes and vapes. Go to zippixtoothpicks.com today and score 10% off by using code Dollemore at checkout. You must be 21 years or older to order and be warned that nicotine is an addictive chemical. Nix that fix with Zippix nicotine toothpicks.